Good morning, guys. How is it going?
Great. Morning.
It's good to hear.
Good.
Uh, Okay, well, we got an exciting day today. It sounds like I just talked to John. He's nice and busy too. Got Ignite this morning with Angie Fisher, who is a rock star, so should be exciting for that. If you want to ditch out and join, CEO is going to do a little training for us as well. So hopefully Angie has plans to attend some of that or thoughts. So should be good. Okay. What questions do you have? How can I help you in your businesses right now?
Could use someone to buddy up with to go over case studies and just getting some additional practice filling in the forms such as the REPC and like the listing form addendums, things like that, so I could
Yep.
get familiar with the paperwork.
I love that. I love that thought. I wish there was one other person on this call. Oh, we have one. We got Carlos here. So if you guys wanted to partner up, I think it's a great idea
Yeah.
to have someone like this. Just even to help get a few things moving along. For example, as you're like, I need to get better at filling out the exclusive right to sell. Um, some people will have questions as you present this document to them. The big question and the one that we always talk about is like the commission section and how we structure things like that with the buyer broker and exclusive right to sell. The rest of the document is pretty like boilerplate, and we don't talk about it a lot, but some people have questions before they sign things. So knowing what's in there and being able to quickly explain, even if it's just like the next section says protection period. Well, what even is that? You need to put a number in there, but does it even matter what you put in there? And what are they signing? And so just like going through all of those sections and being able to quickly be like, okay, protection period, that's how long that I'm protected if you try to screw me. And just like having like a one sentence answer to each of them. Uh, and then just quickly being able to make sure that your explanation doesn't cause more doubts in someone's mind because you want it to seem simple and easy as they go and sign this document rather than wait, I need to read through this more and think about it because everyone that has ever sold a house on the MLS has signed this document. So love that thought.
I
Yeah, it's
mean, real quickly, what happened to me was, what was it, a month ago or 3 weeks ago? In fact, I was on a Zoom training session, and the presenter was going over, the contract itself. And
mhm.
somebody brought up the question about, well, what if, the sellers, what if the buyer decide that they want to possess the washer and the dryer, and the seller is going to leave it behind. How do you explain that in the contract? And I said, I just kind of threw in my 2 cents and I said, well, if personal property ownership is going to be transferred, that should be done on a separate bill of sale. And the presenter said, no, there's no reason to, use a different bill of sale, blah, blah, blah. And as we're reading through the contract, it specifically had one line on there that said, if personal property is going to be exchanged, list it here and present a separate bill of sale to the seller from the buyer. It was actually in the contract, and the presenter didn't know that. And that just that cast a little, just like you said, that cast a little doubt in my mind. And I thought, I think it would be best if, maybe Carlos and I can get together and just do some mock contracts and go through some of the case studies and better understand the documentation.
Oh, I would love it. For sure.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too,
just
Carlos.
just even print it out. And I would start with the buyer broker agreement and the exclusive right to sell,
Okay.
because if you don't have a client, that's the first thing that's going to be signed to get a client. And so how do you go through and explain all of this? And I just pulled it up here on my other screen. Um, some of the things might sound scary. Seller's brokerage fee due and payable. Like that sounds pretty scary. Like you talked about commission, but what's this seller's fee due and payable? Protection period, warranties, disclosure, agency relationships. Yeah, like how can you go through and just quickly just explain what these mean to someone? And to be honest, 9 times out of 10, people are not going to have more questions about this. Their big questions are all going to come on that first page, which is all about the commission. How does the commission work? How are you getting paid? How does a buyer's agent get paid? How does that work for me as the seller or as a buyer? How do you buyer agent get paid? And once that's explained, the rest is a lot of boilerplate information. And you can mention in the like professional advice. Like, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a tax person, I'm not an inspector. Like, I'm a real estate agent, I'm licensed for that. I'm only going to stay within that scope. Then your job is to stay within that scope. Someone like Bill, who used to be an inspector, might struggle with something like that on an inspection. If you used to be a CPA, you might struggle on the tax part. So just knowing where you should live and how you should do things, it's great to know this. So I'd say pull it out, read through it together, and then one of you explain to another. And if it casts any doubt in your mind, figure out how can I switch and change this just to make it seem like this is what everyone's doing. This is
Hey,
easy.
hey Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Angie and contract familiarization, I have here a video of Angie. I just sent it on the Zoom chat. And I just like how Angie breaks down the contract and like go over through each section and have the way that you said that you're having just one answer for like every section. That's a great example we have there, and you could pattern it and practice it with Carlos.
Yeah. That is great. I know Angie's buyer presentation spends a lot of the time just focusing on how she's going to help you, but what the contract is saying and then how she fulfills that duty. So she does it kind of an interesting way. So by the end of the presentation, you felt like you've had the whole buyer contract explained to you, but you also get her value proposition. So she's really good at that. So yeah, definitely check out that video. That'd be a good one. Thanks, Ritz. Yeah, click on that because it will probably go away when we hang up this Zoom. So make sure you guys grab that,
Oh yeah.
save it somewhere. So, okay, we'll go practice. I'd say get
Okay.
together when you guys can. Angie's going to start. We're going to be in the small training room today for Ignite. So we'll have that set up and going at
Oh, Gary
9:30.
Keller. Sorry.
Oh,
Gary,
Gary Keller
yeah.
room. Sorry. Yep, we'll be in the Gary Keller room on the main level. So um, we'll have that up and going. A little more intimate setting, but it should be packed with how many people we've been having. So come early to get a seat, otherwise you'll be standing in the corner.
Okay. So,
Maybe.
Carlos, I just sent you my number. I just messaged it to you in Zoom.
oh, perfect.
Yep.
Got it here.
Okay.
And then you guys are going to become the experts, and I'm going to use you as an example of teaching everyone how to explain contracts.
Oh,
So
so
get ready. You
I
have
changed
3
my
days.
name to I'm
Just
going to
kidding.
change my name to Perry Mason.
sounds fun.
Okay, well, you guys are awesome. Go chat with each other, and then get ready for Ignite today. We'll see you guys shortly. Have a great
Okay.
one.
Have a
Bye.
great one. Bye bye.